friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the 5th house of our natal chart. So like the way guys, I always say this thing that if I were to pick up any one of my favorite house out of the 12 houses of our natal chart, definitely 5th house is going to be my favorite pick, because the beauty of this house is that its attributes have got so strong potential that no matter what your aspiration are, like whether you are a very religious and spiritual seeker in the life, you have got strong material desires, you want to live a life filled with enjoyment, entertainment, all sort of hedonism, or anything to do with being known as a learned person in the society. So this house has got potential to fulfill all of your those desires or aspiration. And most importantly guys, keeping aside all other attributes of this house tells about the way your mind function, your intellect works, like the way we say this thing that what kind of thoughts comes to your mind and how intelligent, wise you are. So 5th house plays a very pivotal role in giving this idea about someone's personality. I always say this thing that even if you have your 9th house in a strengthened state, so luck is definitely going to be supporting you, but even there is a limit to that. After that, if your mind is perverted, you keep on committing mistakes or doing some despicable acts and all. So after a certain point, even the luck will stop supporting you or helping you. That reminds me of this story of Lord Krishna and Shishupal. So even Lord Krishna promised Shishupal's mother that I will ignore or I will forgive his 100 sins, but after that I will punish him. So that is the only reason I am giving more emphasis on the 5th house, because it tells about what kind of mind governs the life of this person. So guys, just because we will be going in a deeper analysis of this house, so and if you have to see from someone's mind or thought process point of view, so there are 3 ways of looking at it or studying it. One thing is that which all planets are placed in this house. That will tell about that yes, your mind is filled with what sort of energy. Second thing is that where the 5th house lord has gone in your chart. That will tell about that your mind is driven towards which specific aspect or attribute in the life. And third thing is that which all planets are aspecting or looking at the 5th house, because that will tell about that what sort of external elements influences your mind or your thought process. And apart from that guys, when we talk about other attributes of the 5th house, so 5th house tells about your education, 5th house also tells about your progeny as well. And guys, over here as well, I want to make this thing very clear, because in the older times what used to be the case that right at the time when 2 people are about to get married, so they used to get their astrological chart matchmaking done, and specifically the nadi dosh, and there are other attributes which needs to be looked at in order to determine what kind of progeny your chart is promising. Are there is going to be some obstacles in that path or not? So in older times, people used to get those remedies done or those rituals done in order to appease the energy. Now in the modern day context, what is happening is that whatsoever biological problem you will face, in order to have the progeny, with the advancement of science and technology, you can overcome it. I'm not denying that, but if something has been written as a part of your destiny, if universe has something in store for you, then you have to endure that. So guys, if you have an afflicted 5th house, taking the route of science and technology and all, you can still have the progeny, but later on these are among those people who get tormented by their progeny, by their children in the old age, not being respected, not being well taken care of. And if you will ask them, they will definitely tell you that the child which has given them maximum problem, even at the time of conceiving him or her, they had to go through some sort of difficulties. So coming back to this point, that 5th house also tells about all information connected around your progeny as well. And definitely guys, when we talk about the mantra shakti, or specifically all those people who tend to remain lucky in like empowering any of the mantra with the repeated repetition of those mantras. This is also very important house when it comes down to your personal magnetism or anything to do with your aura, the kind of aura or energy or vibe which surrounds you. Along with that, guys, definitely this is the house of speculation as well, and I would say that anything to do with the art, entertainment, creativity, we generally see from this house. And guys, in today's day and age where lot many people are working in the social media content creation, so that can be seen from the third house as well. But when we talk about doing something completely original, that we see from the fifth house. And definitely, guys, when we talk about the mainstream media, so like whenever any of the big project is going in production, so many expert people collaborate, come together to create that magnum opus project. So if you have to be in that silver screen, if you have to be on that mainstream media, you need to have a strong fifth house. Third house can give you success in social media or media marketing and all, but in order to be in that big screen, you need to have a strengthened fifth house. And also, guys, this is also the house which tells about your past life good merits as well. Any of the esoteric combination, if you will find getting formed over here, that also tells about that in this domain or in this energy, you might have done something in the past life as well. So let's say, for example, if you have a very strong Mars in your fifth house, and I always say this thing, if there is one planet which defines you, you will get the influence of that in all areas of your life, from your physical appearance, you say, from your numerology numbers, from your moon nakshatra, from your overall details, you will see the occurrence and presence of that planetary energy in your life. So the point which I'm trying to say over here is that if you will find a strengthened Mars in the fifth house, that could tell about that you might have done something where there's a lot of power, domination, competition, aggression in the past lifetime. If a strong Mercury is there in the fifth house, you might have done something very good in the commerce, in trade, in the past lifetime. This could be a knowledge which is there encrypted in your soul, and if you will keep on doing the Ishta Bhakti, you can experience that in this lifetime as well. So all of that can be seen from the analysis of the fifth house. Let's look at the way this house function with all other houses in your natal chart. Like you can say it a Bhavad Bhavam concept, or the way other houses respond to this house. So all what you have to do is that you have to put your one finger, index finger, on the fifth house, and then you have to see that how the heart of your chart responds to all other houses of your chart. So definitely, guys, if you will look at this house from your ascendant, so this house tells about your mind. And also, guys, it is one of the auspicious Lakshmi Sthana as well, so which also tells about prospects of gaining wealth with the divine grace and support we can see from the empowered state of the fifth house. Now, guys, how this house responds to your second house. So from the second house, you have to go 4 places ahead of it. So guys, generally what I have seen in my research is that because these are among those people, if you have a prominent fifth house, these people know how to make right use of your money. Like you will rarely find these people to be like, sometimes what happen, any of the good planetary dasha came which actually gave you windfall gain, but all those people who do not know how to make use of that, people get into there are those people in the society, they were living a very disciplined life, but just because suddenly they became so rich and now they have completely contaminated or perverted their lifestyle, their morals, their ethics. So generally what has been seen, that if you will find fifth house to be in a dignified state and corresponding well with the second house, so generally the money earned by them is used in the right direction as well, for charity, for doing something good for themselves, and also for the society. And also, guys, the way second house responds with the fifth house is that generally I have seen that in these people's life, you will see that in the dire times or difficult times, the relatives or the immediate family is always there to help them. This could be through some giving comfort, through right advice, right support, monetary support. So this is how you can see, and this is also a good indication of if you have a prominent fifth house, you will remain lucky in the speculative investments and your speculative interest as well. Now, guys, when we talk about the way the third house corresponds or relates with the 5th house. So definitely guys, from the 3rd house you have to go 3 places ahead of it. So that also tells about that if you have a empowered 5th house. So if 3rd house tells about your motivation, your drive, your prowess, your courage. So 5th house in a way just tells about that, because guys, when we talk about the trine houses, divinity plays a very pivotal role over there. Your faith plays a very pivotal role over there. So 3rd house might make you very headstrong to this extent that you have confidence only in your prowess, in your skill. But 5th house responds in such a way that you have faith in the whole universe. And these are among those people with their strong faith, they are able to manifest all of their desires. Now guys, how the 4th house responds with the 5th house. So guys, see, you have to understand this thing that 4th house chiefly tells about your feelings, and 5th house tells about the way your mind function, the kind of thought which comes to your mind. So generally, if these two houses are corresponding well with each other, so a lot many times it has been seen that there could be any reason which can drive you or motivates you. Like for a lot many people, it's the doing something good for their country, that degree and sense of patriotism. For some people, doing something good for their family name, for their country, for their culture, for their caste. So if you will find these two houses working in harmony with each other, so your thought process and your mind will get the right set of drive and push of your emotions. Now guys, how 6th house respond with the or contributes to the 5th house. So guys, this is a very good indication, because definitely when it comes down to looking at all those people who are very sorted, who are very wise, or they know how to handle terms in society, they act in a very graceful way in the society. So lot many of the problems or troubles you can evade only if you know how to act in a given situation of time, because 5th house in a way negates, a strong 5th house negates the attributes of the 6th house, which is health related concern, any of the dispute, any of the conflict. So if you know right at the time that okay, I might get into conflict with this person, I have to be very careful while talking to this person, eating these things or drinking these things in excess is not good for my health. So that is the only reason an empowered 5th house somehow negates all of the problems or dispute or conflict or misery of the 6th house. Now guys, the combination of 7th house and 5th house is generally considered as good, because this is a typical combination which tells about that somehow you will have a partner who will be very much connected to your heart, to your soul. And also we say that love marriage or being very romantic or finding a very romantic partner can be also seen with this combination. Now guys, any of the combination of the 8th house and 5th house can make your mind very researchful, very explorative, and for anything to do with sadhana, with tantra, with getting those occult powers, this is a very good combination. 8th house actually respond very well to the 5th house, because guys, if you will see from over here, from the 7th house, if you will go to the 5th house, it is going to be 11th place from it. So that means the gains from the marriage. But when we talk about from the 8th house, you have to go 10 places to reach the 5th house. That in itself tells about that somehow in your career, because of your researchful mind or because of your this consistent inquisitiveness to do something good or big or unique or innovative in your professional life, you will be able to succeed if you will work with that mindset. Like your mind is very researchful, explorative. Now guys, any of the combination of the 9th house and the 5th house generally is considered as good, because it has not been written in such a good light, but specifically when we talk about meditation, adhyatma, or because the good Raj Yoga is whenever the trine house makes any connection with the angular house. But even after that, 5th house and 9th house, they both are conjunct in a single house, or 5th house Lord is placed in the 9th house, it is generally considered as a very good sign that your mind is going to be very very philosophical, very eternally optimistic, and you will get the right set of support from relevant people in the life, like who always have good intentions in store for you. Now guys, any of the combination of the 5th house and the 10th house is always considered as very good, because as you can see over here that from the 10th house, in order for you to reach the 5th house, it is a kind of a 6-8 combination, which is generally considered as good for bringing any transformation in your life. And generally guys, this is a typical combination where we have seen that the progeny tend to add to the family name, or like I would say that if you are in any of the art creative fields, you will get the right set of platform to manifest your talents, so right set of opportunities, and definitely your mind is going to be very goal driven. Now guys, any of the combination of the 11th house and 5th house is generally considered as very good. Like we generally say this thing that mind is going to be very goal driven, very futuristic, very visionary, and also this is also typical combination where you are always kind of supported or flooded by new ideas, and right set of people are always there to support you. Now guys, the connection of the 5th house, or the way it corresponds with the 12th house, is kind of little bit perplexing. It's very difficult to understand what is going on in the mind of this person, or this person could be very easily influenced in the life as well. So generally when it comes down to the house utilization theory, so we say this thing that for this person, if he will move to a foreign land, or he will be in a business of foreign entities and all, or travels and all, that might be more fruitful for this person. But definitely guys, when we talk about the adhyatma or spiritual practices, religious austerities, this is considered as a very good combination, because like the way we say this thing that the 9th house is the house of the god, but the house of the god is the 4 places ahead of it, which is the 12th house. That is the only reason we say this thing that 12th house is the moksha bhava. So let's say for example, because all those people who do karam kand puja, like all the priest and all, so if you have a priest who has this combination, this is considered as a very good yoga, because 5th house is the house of the mantra ucharan and 12th house is the house of the god. So whenever this person will recite the mantra to call the god or invoke the god, they will come. Now definitely other factors have to support it, but this is a very good combination from the religious and spiritual point of view. When we talk about the material aspect or the right set of thinking, over there person might be deluded, confused, perplexed if other factors in the chart are not well supporting it. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say about one of my favorite houses in the Vedic astrology. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.